Cool. Sure. Yeah, well, I'm Carlton. Hello, hello. Um, I, s- I don't know if I'd call myself a YouTuber. I at least uploaded one video back in July about my deconversion story. Currently working on another video that I'm hoping is out by the end of the year, maybe in January. But yeah, it's very hard to find me because if you just type in my name, you're gonna get up the character from Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah,
But
I said that to a guy the other day, and he was like, Carlton,
yeah,
as in the guy, and then started doing the dance and all. Like, but
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
have searched for
Uh,
you, man, and I can only, when I search for you, what comes up first is that one video. I can't even find you, but I think it's because I've searched and watched your video so many times that it just comes up in my feed now, you know. But no, you're very hard to find. You are. I'll have to.
yeah.
You're a wee hidden gem in the corner. I did want to ask
Right.
you though. You have
Mhm.
30 or so subscribers, right? Can you do me one favor? Can you find the stream and just type your name in the stream or say hello in the actual live chat so people have a link to
Sure.
your channel?
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Yeah, because I had it all in the description, but as explained, everything fucked up there. So
Right. Yep. Yep. There.
because as I say, when I search for you, I find your "Why I'm an Atheist" video quicker
Mm.
than I actually find you.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of intentional that I don't want a lot of people to find me. I'm like, I put stuff out, but whatever.
That's sorry, I did forget there. That's what I wanted to ask you, man. You've only 30 something subscribers, but I think you need to get 100 subscribers to get your own name. Did you
Right.
lose a lot of subscribers?
No, I actually never really uploaded anything to that specific channel. Funny fact, I used to have a reaction channel that in which I reacted to like K-pop stuff and Korean variety shows, so comedy shows and stuff like that,
Oh
which is actually
yeah.
I think it's yeah, so it's still on YouTube I think under Enchanted Hobo, which has like oh man, I think close to 3,000 subscribers on that channel and I gave it up because I'm like I'm bored of this. I don't really want to do this. I'm not
Yeah.
fulfilled by it, whatever. So I think it was early this year. I decided, oh, thanks to my wife as well. I'm like, you know what? I got some interesting things to say sometimes, so I'll just do this as a creative outlet and just do videos whenever I want to do videos.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. You're here to enjoy yourself, here to have fun, and
Right,
there's no pressure, no fuck all. I didn't
right.
put my first video out until I had 100 subscribers, and then I was like, yeah, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll not, and then I made a wee video, and it was fun to do, and I jumped onto a few people's different panels and got my voice out there, and you do
Mm-hmm.
sort of get addicted to the live. I would be in a lot of
Oh
chats
yeah.
and chatting and back and forth, and you do get addicted to the live. I'm not a big fan of. Okay, hi Miss Sassy. I'm saying hello to you. All right, hello everybody. You know Miss Sassy, do you? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I actually knew her from.
Dragnot.
She was on. Say again.
She's, I think, friends with Dragnot, and you would know Dragnot, no?
Actually, well, I do know Drag, but I knew Sassy from when she appeared on Raging Atheist's channel. I think he featured her because she
Ah,
was just starting out. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I know about her. And then she and I have been kind of talking from time to time. I think she's been busy lately, so we haven't had much talking.
she's recently, I don't know, converted or deconverted back to being a Christian.
Oh, okay. I heard that from I can't remember from who. I think it was actually Drag that I heard that from. But yeah, good for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, power tell her if
Mhm.
she's got the balls to come out and say that and say to everybody, fair play to the
Yeah.
woman. Like,
Yeah.
there you go, Sassy. See, we all love you. You got enough attention now. Right, moving on, Carl. Back to you. No, Miss Sassy and me go, well, not go way back, but she knows I'm only winding her up. But yeah, so you started doing this as an outlet, and you say suggestion from your wife. Did she sort of give you a wee kick up the arse? I'm sick of you sitting under my feet. Do you want to go play on the computer?
Well, it was mostly because I don't know if she still is, but she's a subscriber to someone like Vice Rhino. I had never heard of him before.
Love Vice
And
Rhino. Yeah.
yeah, he makes some really good videos. And so we one day were watching some of his videos, and I was just commenting and just yelling and saying pretty much the same things he was saying against whatever theist he's hammering on.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know what? What you have a lot to say. Why don't you make a channel? I'm like, nah, I don't have anything to say. I'm not all that interesting. And I just finally lamented. It's like, okay, I think I have something to say here. Why don't I just first introduce myself to people by saying this is why I'm an atheist?
Yeah, well, you come across as a very intelligent man. I know you've only got one video out and one debate where you did debate. Was it one of the Aarons, the NAFB Aarons?
Yeah,
Aaron White, Aaron Benton, Aaron White, was it?
Aaron Ford.
Aaron Ford, the other. There's too many
Yeah.
fucking Aarons. But yeah, so fair play to you, man, for being able to do that. The best I've ever done is ring up drunk to G-Man and shout at him for fucking saying that lying's the stream he did that lying is worse than paedophilia when they were doing that whole thing about
boy.
that. Yeah. And that whole thing. So I was on a stream with Jay Pasick. And
Okay.
yeah, Jay was actually, it was the night I popped my cherry on stream was with Jay Pasick. Because we'd talk back and forth in Discord and shit and chats, and he was like, jump into fuck, I've just got a new keyboard, it's wireless up to the TV and stuff. So we sat in, he was drinking whiskey and smoking, and I was drinking and smoking, and then G-Man went live and started spouting that shit. So I was like, oh man, I'm fucking totally up for this shit now, let's just do this. Like I jumped in and I was like, man, no, I'm just, if I said you were a big sweaty mess, obviously I'm lying, but is that worse than paedophilia?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But no, that's you're very intelligent. I would describe myself as a troll with a brain. I'm a little better than a few out there. I'm definitely not one of the best, but I've got my philosophy 101. I can do that. I don't know if obviously you're not formally trained in philosophy, but you do.
Right.
You would do more reading than YouTube University. Would you put effort into actually looking at that? Have you just picked it up as you go along? And
Well, funny enough, another I don't know.
tangent all your way, man. Tangent all. This is the tangent channel.
Well, when it comes to philosophy, I used to be fairly interested in it, but it was actually anime that got me into more philosophy. I don't know if you're familiar with the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I know of the name, but just as a personal side, I own 4 Dragon Balls. I am a huge.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
nice.
no. After about 6 months of going out with my girlfriend, she now knows if Robbie dies, the first thing you do, get the Dragon Balls. That if I ask her if that's a thing, like I'd be like, meeting someone, I'd be like, no, me and the girlfriend are great. She knows everything. All. Oh, you sure? And I'd be like, honey, I die. What do? Get the Dragon Balls. Good answer. Sit that woman down. She's a keeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, it was through anime that I got into philosophy a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna read a little bit more about this. But it was when I briefly went to college that it was I took a sociology class. I was like, oh, this is really, really interesting. Maybe I can explore this a little more. And yeah, that's mostly why I got into philosophy, and it's just.
Do you mind me asking your age?
Do you mind? 29.
29. So there's not much between us. I'm 36 now, but when I was growing up, it was Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
That sort of stuff. Lots of robot battles, and that the anime I'm talking about. And what do you call them? Legend of the Overfiend. That was definitely one of my most favoritist anime movies. Have you ever seen it? There's 3 of them in total. Urasaru, Legend of the Overfiend. General idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, just massively all about sex and demons, and when he turns into a demon, he grows
Oh yeah.
that many penises, they rip through the hospital building and rip it into pieces.
Mm.
You know, that's the anime I grew up with. I definitely should watch more philosophical anime.
Yeah,
Oh,
some of it's okay, some of it's pretty, some of it's pretty good. Like well, at least the first season of an anime called Psychopaths is really good. I know there's a newer season that's
anime,
currently playing. I haven't watched it.
it's got a hell of a lot more popular, and manga has a hell of a lot more
Yeah.
popular, and graphic novels than it was. Like, if I wanted to watch it back whenever I was a kid, we had to stay up to the CNN network, actually changed over to
Mm-hmm.
Toonami.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Toonami. And then after 12 o'clock, they had, you know, the Cowboy Bebop and the stuff that you don't show to kids. It was like
Right.
a lot of the stuff that was on Toonami you would now find on Adult Swim, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like,
Well, we had Toonami when I was a kid too. It was actually played, I think it was a block for like Cartoon Network, and then it had like a small little block for Toonami. I think it was like a couple hours or so. So it would play some anime like Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball
yeah,
Z,
yeah.
all these other ones, and then yeah, it would just go back to the cartoons. So that's how I was introduced to
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
our
anime.
Toonami was fucking late. It was on late, 11, 12 o'clock. But
Um,
if consideration, if that was 5 hours behind me, that would have been 5, 6, 7 o'clock for you. So, you
yeah.
know, probably same timing. This is back in the days when Sky had only 16 channels. Sky's like,
Oh.
you know, we had a decoder box and a Sky box and a dish at the side of the house that was probably the size of a small truck. That when a storm came, you had to get back up on the roof and move it again to bring it back.
Jeez.
You know, early 90s Sky, man.
Right.
We've no cable over here. Like, we don't have cable. So we had
Mm.
BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 3 and Channel 4. And because we lived close to the border, we would get RTE and RTE2, which would be the Irish channels, all through analog. That was it. That was
Oh.
it. 6 channels. And if you wanted anything more than that, you had to pay Sky and buy Sky. No cable or anything like that. No fibre optic or that. Yeah, it was. Look at you. Wow. So little channels. But do you watch TV now?
Actually, not really. We're just streaming stuff now. So
Yeah.
it's like YouTube. We barely use Netflix, although my wife and I were joking the other day how Netflix now kind of is starting to get some good stuff again, but
It still doesn't
we're
have the
hesitant.
Stargate series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that's on Hulu. I don't, well, it used to be,
yeah,
but
no, well,
yeah.
I really, I'm I would watch old series via streaming
Mhm.
quicker than I would watch
Mhm.
a new show because there's very little in TV now that's either not regurgitated or is very bland or goes the whole look at this penis, look at these boobs.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, it's. I have not watched Game of Thrones, refused to watch Game of Thrones, haven't watched more than 5 minutes of it. The only show I would really put the time and effort into now and actually making the effort to watch would be Flash on the CW network.
Okay.
I do like that, and I have been watching it from the start. I did also start watched Arrow, but Arrow just became so predictable and so shit that the only thing worth watching now out of it is the Flash.
I've heard pretty good things about the Flash. I know with Arrow, initially a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, it's really good."
First
But I
3, 4
don't hear that
series,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
After the fourth series, I think it was, it just got
Mhm.
so predictable, so predictable. I think it was Jim Majors said it perfectly the other day. Enemy appears, you don't know who it is. Turns out it's a good guy. You catch him, everybody wins, and that's what pretty much every fucking episode became. You know, after a wee while, I hear good reports about Batgirl, but I haven't watched anything of
Yeah.
it yet. No, but
Mhm.
no, as I
Yeah.
say,
Well,
I generally just watch reruns of old sci-fi shows if I'm bored, and I would only watch them for maybe an hour or two when you're eating your dinner. It's background music. It's
Yeah.
sound in the background. Nobody wants to hear themselves chew.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, you're on YouTube because your wife doesn't want you under her feet. She thinks you're smart enough
Right.
that you've got something to contribute. And your new video, man, is it a continuation of Why I'm Still an Atheist, or do you mind doing a wee teaser? Can we get a topic?
Well, okay. So it's so I'll preface it with this. I've been working on this newer video since I think 2 weeks after I uploaded the atheist video.
Which is 4 months ago.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Um, so this video was initially going to be in relation to the atheist video, but when I was working on the atheist video, I realized like, oh, it's really feels more like I should just talk about my deconversion story and why I'm an atheist. Now, this current video, I don't want to give too much away because it's I really want to wait until people actually like. I
Oh no.
plan on premiering it,
Well,
but
pretend we're in Graham Norton and you've signed a contract and you're the lead star, okay?
right.
You've got this one
um,
scene that's a minute and a half long, and that's all you're allowed to talk about.
right. Yeah. I'll say it has to deal with justice and looking at justice through different lenses. I know that's incredibly vague, and that's
Yeah,
intentional,
good. No,
but
that's good.
yeah,
That's why I haven't
it's
asked you directly your deconversion story. Everybody go and watch his video.
right.
So it's vague as fuck, and we're all going to be so excited about it.
I hope so.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
generally excited about it because one thing that did catch my eye, man, at the start, when you released your video, I was hoping in around August to start streaming. I'd made 1 or 2 videos. September is when I was hoping to go live. You know, as we explained before we went before this, I had to get a new computer and stuff to do that. But you were doing videos and coming out same as sort of time as I was, and your production just shocked me, man. It was no, don't laugh. You definitely deserve credit for that. It was absolutely fantastic. I assume, is it Cara? Was it Cara was the other person? Was that your wife?
Yep.
Yeah. The two of you has put an awful lot of effort in. And only today, when I rewatched it, and I've watched your video a few times, I think today was maybe my 4th time watching it. And only today did I realise that the guy with the hood and in the jacket was actually you. I thought that was also stock footage. And I was watching it on the big TV rather than watching it on my phone because obviously I'm having you on tonight. I wanted to give it my full attention. And it was like, oh, fuck, that is actually him. No, we didn't use that bit for stock footage. Because there was a few obvious, you know, there was the scene in the school that got repeated a few times, I think only twice. And then I think the Bible scene with the notepad got repeated twice. And that obviously wasn't your hand. But then at the end where you turned around and it was like, oh, fuck, it is him. All right. So you actually went out, you know, to a forest, you took the time, or did you just happen to be there and go, this would look class, take a picture?
Oh, it took the time. Took time to actually just go out to. There's a park close to us, and a lot of great filming locations there.
And yeah, sometimes I like an awful lot of forest walks. I prefer to be outside with the daughter. I've got a wee dog, the girlfriend's got a wee dog, so it's always an excuse to get out and go walking. For my birthday, my woman was like, do you want to go for a meal? Do you want to go here? I was like, no, buy the daughter a new set of welly boots and we'll go to my childhood forest and we'll just walk the rivers. And we did that for about 2 hours. We stopped in the middle, built a wee dam out of stones, you know. I like that sort of thing. And we would go off the beaten path quite often. I like to just walk. I have a decent enough sense of direction. Not north, south, east or west, but if you turn left 4 times, you're walking back on yourself. It's easy to fucking remember. You know, you're doing paths and stuff. And there quite recently we went off the beaten path up in I can't remember the name. It's a wee forest just up beside where my woman lives, and we came across a tree trunk that, like, you know, a fallen tree, but there must have been at least 15, maybe 10 foot in a line of just mad mushrooms growing on the top of this tree. It was one of the craziest things, you know, I've seen, and the wee daughter was over with it, and just random pictures I've got with it. That's an amazing shot that I've got just for her, and would never have found it only for going off the beaten path, you know, and walking. And the point I'm trying to make is go outside more, people. Forests and lakes and, you know, that sort of shit, like where you are in your video. That looks beautiful, man. If that is so close to your house, you're so lucky, like.
Yeah, it's great. It's I think it's also got a river that's out there. It's just amazing. It really is.
Yeah, I was looking at I'm hoping to, as you seen earlier when I showed you the picture, I'm hoping to get this house done up so I can sell it and then move closer to my girlfriend because they live nearly an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And
oh, wow.
I'm hoping then to move up and we're going to build a house up there. And the difference between buying a plot of land in the middle of just a field, you know, with nothing really around you, for a third of an acre, maybe a half acre, is about 30,000, which isn't too bad. But then I was looking at this really nice place that runs alongside a forest, and there's a river and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, click that shit. 55. And it's like, no, just because there's trees beside it, it's £20,000 more. Oh, but that's. So I would like that. That'd be class if you could just run out the back and there's fucking trees at the end of your garden, like. And trees are lovely and all, but have them in a forest where you don't have to look after them. I've got 10 in my backyard and can't wait to fucking rip the bastards out because they're a disaster. But no, I would like that. I would like to have a natural spring or a natural river running alongside it. I've said a few times on screen here, and I haven't been demonetized yet, but we keep honeybees, and with the excess comb that we have left over, we would make a wee bit of patching with it. And if I had a river running beside me, natural fucking honey, natural spring water.
Oh yeah.
We've recently, I was cleaning out one of the stores in a new depot that I've moved to, and I found bottles that have been in there for about 30 years, maybe 20 years from the previous owner that had been there. And the guy that's been working there for over 20 years said that the building was bought over from a guy that used to be an alcoholic. And I opened the lids and smelt it, and it's definitely patching moonshine that he was growing. The same thing we're making.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's what we make, yeah. And it was definitely that. So we've got these old school brown bottles. I think we got 18 of them or something like that. Yeah, we got. So this year's patching is going to be lovely. Being able to have a natural spring. We used to have one actually in the garden. At the very bottom of my mother's garden, before we leveled it off, there was actually a small river running alongside, and there was a biggish area of my mother's garden that we thought was, we called it the shuck, and it was always muddy and always soggy, and we assumed that it was this small little sewer pipe that had running alongside the garden had always leaked into it. And whenever we got a boy to come in to plumb it all when we were leveling it all off, it turned out there was an actual natural spring at the bottom of the garden, and that's what was keeping it wet. But the fucking bastard just piped it straight into the sewer line, so that's gone now. Gone.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I diverged. There we are. As long as you're having fun, man, that's the main thing.
Oh, yeah.
So have you any other goals for the future rather than taking 6 months at a time to make a video? Because you're only going to have 2 videos a year.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. My wife loves to joke that how long it takes me to do a video. It's like, well, the next video you're going to come out is like 2030 or wherever. I'm like, yeah. Well, I just love to... I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I love to just put everything into the video, making sure everything is...
The one bit I loved the most about your video is when you were doing the scene, I think you had a picture of you up as a kid. Now, I don't know if you had recorded the video, or recorded the picture with your phone and just hadn't your hand steady, or that you'd taken the picture and deliberately made it shake ever so slightly, and then you said something in the audio, and then you had a picture of Mr. Evil pop up. I think it was, I can't remember exactly what Mr. Evil was, like $1 million or something like that, or Dr. Evil, or We Want Evil, whatever it was. Yeah. There was a reference to that, and Dr. Evil popped up on the screen, and I'm thinking, right, he's videoed it, he's edited it, he's also put that in, and he's talking over the top. So there's 4 things that you've done to that one scene that was 3 seconds long, if that. No wonder it takes you 6 months to put a fucking video out, like.
Yep.
I would definitely recommend KineMaster, man. KineMaster is in your phone, on a tablet. Everything is at your fingertips. It's very, very handy to use. If you use Pixel Lab, it can auto do your pictures, and you can fuck about with it real handy. And all of that's on your phone. It's really, really easy. And then what I do is I do it on my phone, upload to Google Drive, and then just straight onto YouTube. It would make your life an awful lot easier. KineMaster does cost £20 sterling for the year, but for the stuff you get with a premium package... You could whack a wee video together. I don't know if you've seen that video that I made of for Jim Majors. I called it the Angry Rap. If you watch that now, that video only took me 2 hours to make. Now, real simple, and all I did was you would take video clips and put them into what you're speaking. I took pictures and put them into what I'm speaking. But there were certain words that he would say fast, and I would change the pictures fast. You can see the different effects that you can throw in. Yeah, it's only like 3 minutes long, and the first minute and a half he doesn't get the rhythm. Give him a chance. It's like 6 a.m. and he's very stoned, really stoned. It's a bit long, but listen to the end, watch it to the end, and that only, as I say, it took about 2 hours to make. Kenny Master's definitely worth looking into.
Oh, okay.
For
No.
you know, if it meant that we got to see more of Carlton than twice a year. Because I don't see in anybody's panels or anything like that, man. And I know we would chat the odd time in Discord, but do you have anywhere that you hang out online, or do you just sit in your little room with your guitars and keyboard playing with videos?
Well, the last time I was in someone's live stream was, I believe, Raging Atheists. And that was a couple months ago, I think. Or, yeah, it was like a couple months ago. Usually, sometimes, yeah, when Raging has like an open room
Yeah.
and I have some free time, I'll be like, hey, I might want to come in and maybe I'll have some stuff to say. But yeah, mostly it's there. Sometimes I'm prowling around Discord, but yeah, I don't really.
Just in saying that, did you get home and get something to eat? Have you been fed?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
have been
yeah.
fed, because I know that you said you'd only get home around 6 Eastern Standard, and then you jumped on about 5-10 minutes past that. Like, so you have to be fed.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I made sure to kind of get home early so I can eat today.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Just to say, man, official on video and all, I really do appreciate you coming on. I would be lost without anybody to talk to on a Tuesday. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of people to ask. You're following up on some greats. We had Jim Majors last week, and we had the Atheist Edge, the other Jim from Atheist Edge on the week before that, and all going well. David Worley, have you heard of DRP? David Worley, he's pretty good.
No.
Yeah, pretty good. He's a UK atheist sort of podcasty sort of guy. And yeah, very good streams. I'll send you a link to him, or it'll be in my Discord if you look in the community videos. There's a channel in there. I have a bot set up to like post. It basically posts my subscriptions, you know, from YouTube into the actual channel. Yeah, he's a UK UK atheist content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call it. But very good. Yeah, tonight's interview didn't go so great. But isn't that right, Rory? But apart at the end, no, we'll not even talk about that. But it was good, and give him a sub, man. He's good crack. But I have no idea where I was going with this point. I've sort of talked myself into a hole. Yes, David would hopefully be coming on next Tuesday.
Oh, okay, cool. Check that out.
Sky Out said that he would come on tonight after 11 o'clock, like. Now, he's never been on stream before, but I texted him last week because I met him in one of the live chats. You know, when you're in the live chats having a bit of crack.
Yeah.
I troll for Satan just as much as Jill trolls for Jesus. But I invited him on. He sent me his email and he said, yeah, I'll see if I can make time. And I was like, well, the way we usually do it here, I don't know if you watched or have got the crack, Carlton. We do an hour and then I jump off and then I jump back on again and I break out a bottle of wine because Tuesday's my weekend and we have an after party and invite other people in if they want to ask you questions, sort of like an open discussion would be on Rages, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're up for staying up to that and doing that, I appreciate any time you can do, but he said he would be up for jumping in for that. So if you're up tonight for giving Sky Out a 1-2.
I've actually been in a live stream with Sky Out, and it was not great. it really wasn't. It was also on Ragings again, but this time it was with Drag and Sock Account in there as well.
Yes.
And yeah, actually that was featured in my atheist video. That little snippet of that.
I did, yeah. And you also have the full video on your channel as well, and the after party as well. It's all there. Other people made them videos for. Well, not that you. That wasn't on your channel, though, was it? That was Drags or Sky Out's channel.
Oh no, that was Raging's channel.
Yeah. No, I mean, sorry, I'm thinking in my head the Aaron Ford debate.
Oh, that one is on my channel.
But did that happen live on your channel?
Yep.
Oh, it did. Did it? Oh, right.
Mm.
I have a memory of thinking that might have been on someone else's channel, but I'm obviously wrong. Yeah, you should definitely come in a wee bit more often, man. Like the after parties will be running in and around this time, and I'll send you a link every week. You're more than welcome to come on in because we all want to see more of that beautiful face.
I don't know about that. I don't know if people like seeing me.
Well, it beats this gingery fucking baldy fucking head here, like, you know. Nobody wants to. It's hard enough to listen to the Irish accent without having to look at an Irish face. I think I've got a wee voice changer and all, but all I can go for is baby or robot. Everything else just is control, out of control. Nobody wants to
You're the
listen
first
to it.
Irish person I've ever spoken to, actually.
Well, I'm Northern Irish, but I go
Mm.
by Irish because when you explain the difference of the politics over here, most people in America don't care. And I've explained it an awful. I've explained it on this channel loads of time. It comes up because people don't know, and I'm fucking here, so people ask me about it, and I've discussed it before. We'll talk about it offline, so nobody gets bored watching.
Right.
But yeah, no, I love it here, man, and I think the country as itself is beautiful. You know,
Mm.
I cover, well, not so much now because I've moved to a depot closer to me, but up until about 3 months ago, I was doing upwards of 600 mile a week driving around the country. As I say, with the girlfriend living so far away, up until October last year, she didn't have her test, so I was driving up on a Friday straight after work. That would take me
Mm.
maybe 2 hours, spend an hour there, get washed and fed, lift her and the child, drive back home again, then get home around 11 or 12 or whatever, get up, go to work the next day at 1 o'clock, come home and spend all of Saturday with the child, all of Sunday as best I can with her, and then about 7 o'clock, load them into the car. And because we're at my mum's another half hour away on top of that, because we spend Sunday with my mum because she doesn't get to see her during the week. So then that's 2.5 hours from my mum's to the girlfriend's, drop her off, and then I'd have to turn and drive the whole way back home again, another 90 mile, an hour and a half to my house, and then get up the next morning on a Monday and go to work. Thank fuck she passed her test.
Yeah, wow.
So I see a lot of the country is what I'm saying. We would drive up. I always take the back roads. I always take the dirty routes, probably because I
Mm.
speed an awful lot and I have like a semi-sports car and I don't like getting caught speeding. But I see an awful lot of countryside, and on the way to my girlfriend's house, look up the Spurn Mountains. I'm sure there's some beautiful pictures of the Spurn Mountains. To get to my woman's house, I have to go over the Spurn Mountains. There's a thing called the Glen Shane Pass, and the Glen Shane Pass, you actually start at the bottom and you drive straight up. The angle must be at least, I would say, 30 degrees, and your ears do pop on the way down. Like, it's that
Oh, wow.
from the top to the bottom, just driving down. You drive over them. I went over in a snowstorm and went down the fucking ass side of it sideways, and even then it was beautiful.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. These pictures are beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what I drive to go and see her. That's what she drives to come and see me.
Wow.
The country itself is beautiful. I would, and I think the people, and I hope I make a good representation, with the exception of the accent, Tony. I think we're, a very good accepting people. Right. Come, we have the crack. We like to banter. We like to talk. We're friendly,
Mhm.
Welcome, AR. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey, AR.
Yeah, sometimes we get semi-famous people in here. We get Digital Hammurabi every now and again, so we do.
Ooh,
Like,
nice.
yeah,
Now, is it naked or is it sometimes Dr. Josh?
I think it's usually Josh.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But I don't actually know. It's not something we would do, but I'm going off mannerisms and typing, and, sometimes you can... If you watch hard... Oh, I've hit a button. Oh. No, it doesn't matter. Just something popped up in the stream. You'll not see anything, but I'm streaming through OBS. I don't know if you're watching on the YouTube. It looks different.
Oh.
You're actually wrapped up in a little ball of straw.
Oh.
Your face was priceless. No, it's the wonders of OBS, man. The niceness of OBS. But then we, as we say, had the problems at the start. It's a cunt of a thing, but it's good. It's good. So, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up from your side, Carlton? Or is there anything you'd want to ask me, Carlton? I like to do that as well, because every different person that I would have on has a different point of view. Would possibly, if you ask a question that's been asked before, we'll do the, what is it, family fortunes noise, and just move on to the next one.
How many black people are in Ireland? I've always wanted to know that.
There's not a lot of us.
That's
Now,
what I
in
thought.
saying that, man, I have said this on screen before. For Christmas last year, we bought our daughter a little black doll because we
Oh.
want her to know that there is no difference. And my
Mm,
82-year-old granny was there on Christmas Day and goes, "Why'd you buy her a black doll?" It's because they're all the fucking
mm,
same, granny. So my little old 82 granny might be a little racist, but me and the girlfriend aren't. My daughter does own a little black doll.
mm,
I'm trying to think of the name of it. She has a name for it and all. Oh, I'm a bad
mm.
daddy. She's that many dolls. Queenie. She calls it Queenie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where it came from, but she calls it Queenie.
Mm.
But yeah, go. Have you any questions for me or any point of view or anything you'd like to know about an Irishman other than how many black people there are in Ireland? I know if you go to the big cities, man, if you went to Dublin, there would be an awful lot more than there would be around here. But I'm out in the country and out in the sticks. I think there's only 5 or 10,000 people in my little village. There's cows and horses in the field out. Like, I look out my living room window here and I can see cows and horses during the summer,
Wow.
right in the field across from me. There's cows. We had to rebuild the wall at the back of my mum's house because the cows used to scratch against it and they knocked it down.
Oh,
I'll say
wow.
I've pictures of the daughter just sitting on the top of the wall, 4 foot from the cows, just at the back of my mum's house, just mooing at the cows. Now, I think it was Tony Designs or somebody else made a comment. It was like the most Irish picture they'd ever seen. It might have been Richard Madsen because it's a little ginger girl sitting on a wall in a field with a cow shed and some cows. But no,
Wow.
very out in the country. I like to be out in the country.
Mm. I wish I lived out in the country.
Well, you've got that
City
nice
might
park.
be a little. Mm.
You live in a city. That park that's yours is actually in the city. You're not in the suburbs.
No.
So it's like a central park in the middle of New York style thing.
Well, I want to say it's kind of. I guess we're kind of in the suburbs.
Obviously,
But
don't say your city or state. Well, your state's all right, but don't say your city or anything like that. Don't dox yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to dox my drops.
Well, some people are assholes. I've said my name and pretty much where I live and all the rest of it. And anyone that gets into my Discord has seen pictures of me, my daughter, my girlfriend. Yeah, I don't. I'm an open book.
Mm.
And you've never been to Ireland yourself, Carlton? No.
No, I've actually never been outside of the United States.
Ever? No. Oh.
No. Mm-mm.
What's the furthest you've ever been from home?
New York?
Have you a desire? Sorry, excuse me. You obviously have well, I say obviously, but do you have a desire to see the world? Is there anywhere in particular that you have a real want to go and see for culture, for country, for sights?
I've always wanted to. Well, I don't know if I've always wanted to kind of go to like Korea or Japan. But I've noticed recently I've kind of had the desire to maybe go like to those European countries, somewhere in the UK or anything like that. But not really anywhere else. Yeah.
I would agree with you in Japan. I would like to go to Japan because as much as I like the old style and walking about the forests and doing all that, we have an awful lot of technology out there that is not being utilised to its full potential. Like me and the girlfriend have talked about building a house and she's like, look, you do whatever you want with a house. I'm decorating it. You can do whatever you want, but I'm decorating it. And I was like, right, that's fine. You need your solar panels, you need your wind, there's lots of different things you can bring into the house. As I said to you before we went online, I want to be at least self-sufficient or have some sort of income with minimum amount of work by the time I'm 55, 60. And if you build your house within mind of self-sustaining, you don't need to be self-sustainable in everything. You just need to be self-sustainable in some things. Now, I'm totally ripping that off. That's actually a tagline from a YouTube channel I watch, an Australian guy. But that it's true. You don't have to be that. You just have to be it in some. And grow a wee bit of fruit. My mum would grow vegetables and stuff at the house. We had horses across the field from my mum's. They broke out. Now, they're not my mum's or anything. They broke out in the middle of the night, came across. We just done up the garden, and they tramped through the whole fucking garden. And my ma
Wow.
came out and wasn't too happy. Now, it was just general grass. But the first thing my dad said was like, well, they've ploughed it, we might as well plant spuds. We had enough spuds for 3 families for nearly a year. 3 different types of spuds. And because there was so much, we had a digger and all there, we just piled them up outside and covered them in soil. So even in the winter, you just had to go out and hit the fucking ground with a shovel and it would break open and you could go in and there's spuds there. It's like spuds, bottom of the garden. They're at the bottom of the garden. Just all kept outside, you know. As I say, we keep bees and my dad's very self-sufficient. You need to learn. You need to put your ass together and get your stuff together. And if you need to do something, put your mind to it, you can do it.
Right, yeah.
You know, I refer to him as my father, but he is actually my stepdad. But even my mannerisms and the way I go on and the things that I say and my mindset, even my mother would say, you know, you fucking turned into Tommy, for fuck's sake. It's like there's 2 E's now. You know, I'm very much like him. So it's a good mindset. He has a good work ethic. Some people would call it the old school Protestant work ethic. He's worked 2 and 3 jobs. He's built a house from scratch himself. It took him like 5 fucking years. But, you know, he puts the effort in. I respect him for that. And he's always there if you need it. Like the man has to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. He's diabetic. He's got a few problems with his legs where they swell up and stuff like that. But I rang him one night at 12:30 because my car had broke down 5 foot from my house. Now, 5 foot, but on a hill. So I can't push it up the hill by myself and I'm blocking the road. And it's right beside the fucking house. And I could get nobody to come and help me. And my own father lives less than a half a mile round the corner from me. And couldn't come and help me. But my stepdad got into the car and got dressed and drove the half hour up the road just to help me push the car 5 foot into a parking space. You know, some people are good souls. Some people are good.
Yeah. Oh. Well, don't tell that to what's his name. Skylar's been doing a video on him. Inspiring philosophy. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that because I guess he thinks most people are bad.
He can say what he want, man. There's a fella in my Discord server. If you look down the list of people, his name is Darius. Send him a message. He'll confirm for me. He was a guy thumbing a lift, and I drove him from one end of Northern Ireland to the other. He stayed in the hostel. I then drove him back again. Now, I was going this way, as I said, meeting a girlfriend, but he then came home. I put him up for the night, fed him, had the crack with him, and he was over here. He was a Christian over here on a spiritual journey, and I near wiped him out with my car because he was on a fucking lay-by lane thumbing a lift. And I pulled over and was like, man, don't fucking park there. You're going to get killed. But got him in the car, got to know him, and yeah, no. I consider myself a decent enough person, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You do what's best for the person, for the people around you, and the, like, Tony knows this. Tony knows that I'm half decent on Discord. I can do my wee bit in Discord, and what could take somebody 2 hours to do or 2 days to do, I could do in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I have no problem doing that because I feel if you can help someone, it's your obligation to help someone. Especially if it's easy for you. You know, especially if it's easy for you. When I was growing up, my mum took 2 boys in that had been kicked out by their parents for this, that, and the other, and both of them ended up stinging her in the ass. One of them stole from her, and the other one stole my fucking car. Both of them ended up stinging us, but she didn't learn from the first time. She still took the second one in, you know, and that's the way I was raised. If someone needs a helping hand or somebody needs something, and you can do it, I don't see why you shouldn't do it. I don't know if that's a humanist point of view or if there's some sort of philosophical term for that, but I just call it, don't be an asshole, just be nice. It's so much easier to be nice as well. And
it is.
I don't know. I'm the best, Tony. Yes, I am teaching Tony. I am the best. I don't know, man. Yeah. Would you be happy enough to open it up for any questions from the audience for the last 10 minutes, and then we'll swap to the after party and open it up to people to actually jump in and maybe send a link to Sky out. Have we any questions for Carlton? How many guitars have you got in the background? That's something I want to know. Is that 4?
Yeah. Well, actually, one of them is a bass, and those are, one of them is a bass. I don't play any of the, what's that? 2 of them are basses. My wife plays all of them. I do not play any of them.
You're the keyboard man.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
I'm the keyboard.
Beethoven sort of style. Like she's the Angus Young, and you're over Beethoven it in the corner. Like,
There
yeah.
it is.
You know that it is true, man. I know it's cliche, but there's nothing sexier than a woman playing the bass.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Not fucking. Your face said it all. You've experienced that. You know. She's sitting on the edge
Oh
of the bed. Yeah, we're moving on. Okay. uh, oh. No, I can't play a goddamn thing. I'd love to play the banjo purely for the sake of just playing the banjo. I think it's old and annoying, and it would be my style, like, you know. I've tried to play the guitar. I've had a couple of people try to teach me. There's actually a friend of mine who hand winds his own pickups. They're based on a humbucker design, and he has special steel and built his own wee setup and everything. And Counting Crows, the lead guitarist of Counting Crows, if you've ever heard of them, they actually run on his humbucker. It's based on a humbucker. Yeah, they give him free tickets, and he went over and had a fucking coke party in the after party with him and his woman. He says, he's like, I haven't done drugs in like 10 years, Rabbi. There was fucking coke everywhere.
Wow.
But no, they run off it, and there's somebody else quite famous runs off it as well. He got really lucky with a connection one time in a shop in London. You know, he went over to the shop and stuff. But the actual humbucker that they use is under a different name because he started the business with his friend, and then his friend put everything in his fucking name because he was, you do the paperwork, you're better at that. And his friend put everything in his name and then ripped him off. But because he owns the patent for this, he then took the patent and went and restarted again on his own. I'll send you the link. They're only like 60 or 70 quid, man. They're not expensive, like. He doesn't charge much for them, like, and if you're not happy, he'll take it back, obviously. But yeah, if them sort of people use it, it must be good. I know nothing about them, and when honest to God, when he played the difference between two guitars, I couldn't fucking tell the difference. But I'm sure your wife could with her trained eye.
Oh yeah, she could.
Yeah. So questions. I'm lighting up here in the thing. We've got one from Rory. Wish Carlton a happy Thanksgiving for Thursday.
Oh, thank you.
Another lovely celebration holiday for genocide, isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Sammy just jumped in. Sammy's like, sorry. Sammy's like yourself, a wee small YouTuber. He's an ex-Jehovah Witness from Australia.
Oh, okay.
So he's got one wee video up on his. He's working on a few other videos, but because our audience is mainly America, like checking the statistics and stuff, I think it's something like 87% or 90% of my viewership comes from America because of the community that we're in, you know. So for him having live streams and being on panels, it's quite difficult being 10 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know, it's now just about to turn 12 o'clock. Is it 10 in the morning where you are, Sammy? And then the 10-second delay. I think it's something like that. It's between 8 and 10 in the morning. Sammy, you up for jumping in? I'll post the link. We'll open it up. I'm sure. Can you give us another half hour, 45 minutes or so, man? Or I don't want to drag away from your time. Like, have you any kids? If you don't mind me asking, family time does be very important. Like,
No kids. We don't plan on having any kids.
oh no, everyone to their own, man. That's fine. Some people do, some people don't. I want like 6 more. It's 11 in the morning for him.
Jeez.
Now, in all honesty, I'd like 3. 3 would be tops. We've got a wee beautiful girl. I'd like to have a wee boy. I'd like to have one of each just to experience raising both of each. Not that I would treat any of them different. You know, my wee girl already has her own boiler suit and her own sort of tools, and she's been under the bonnet of my 84 Capri helping me. You know, I don't care what the fuck they are. It makes no difference to me. But I'd like to have the experience of raising both. Right. The problem is that my woman, I don't know what's going on with the genetics in her family, but women are 70, 80% chance. Like, we went to a family wedding and there's, say, 300 people there. I'd say 200 of them are women and the other 100 are husbands that have been married. And it's loads of women in her family. Loads of fucking girls. So I would definitely go for a third time. I'm obviously pulling numbers out of my arse here, but you get the point I'm making. But
Right, yeah.
just I'm waiting for somebody to jump in, shout citation required or some shit like that. But yeah, no, I think 3 would be tops because once the kids outnumber the parents, that's too much.
Right.
I have 2 cousins that had a baby making competition for maybe 7 or 8 years, and they have 10 kids between them. And if one of them wasn't pregnant, the other one was pregnant, and some of them are wee bastards. And I feel like it's not that they're not trying to give enough attention to everybody, but there just isn't enough time in the day to give all the attention and discipline and requirements to be a good parent to fucking 5 kids. There's only 2 of you. And you've shit to do, and you've bills to pay, and you've laundry to do, and you've the house to do. 2 kids is fucking plenty. 1 for each parent. You watch that one, I'll watch this one. It's grand. Who's going to watch the third one when you're out and about? Tie it to the dog. Here, puppy. Hope they come bounding back over the fucking hill or something. Oh. Yeah, we've got 1 citation required, but that's only from Sammy. But yeah. Well, Carlton, just to round this up then, we'll jump off for 5-10 minutes and then come back on, open it up. I'll send a few links out to a few people, and if God stops streaming, I always send God a link. God can come in, I don't know. But right, so thanks everybody for coming in, since you're all shit with the questions. Oh, hold on, what did Tommy say? Tony has said, Captain Gobble demanded blood sacrifices every year. Now we eat his descendants and fly giant cartoon balloons.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's about Thanksgiving. Yeah. It took me a wee minute. I'm obviously not American. We don't have why have Thanksgiving so close to Christmas? I think there's a history in that. Somebody said to me one time that Thanksgiving was originally the Christians, or somebody tried to move the holiday from Halloween because it was an evil holiday, and they moved it forward. And because it was closer to Christmas, it sort of picked up some of the traditions of Christmas, as in the turkey and the food and stuff like that. But I think somebody said something like that. It was then added to, I don't know. I'm obviously wrong because it's a holiday around him killing all them Indians. But so, on the topic of genocide, we will end this stream. And thank you all for coming in. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Bring your own booze. Get yourself a bong. I don't know. Don't bring any heroin. We don't like heroin. So other than that, we will see you back in 5 minutes. And bye-bye.